the Detroit Tigers cemented themselves as World Series contenders in 2026? Back-to-back Cy Young Award winner Tarik Skubal is one of the biggest names in Major League Baseball right now after winning his arbitration case against the Detroit Tigers, now set to make $32 million a year, a record-breaking salary for a player in the arbitration system. And after the additions of two-time All-Star lefty Framber Valdez and the return of future Hall of Famer Justin Verlander, let's take a look at what this means for the Tigers, with Skubal set to hit free agency following the season. To recap last year, the Tigers were the best team in baseball for most of the regular season. Keyword most. They were the MLB's first 60-win team, sent a franchise record of 6 players to the All-Star game. Everything was clicking, and it looked like the Tigers, who finished the 2024 season on a high note, had clearly continued it into 2025. However, that promising start transformed into a historic collapse in August and September. The worst in MLB's divisional era since 1969, falling out of first place and having to claw their way into the playoffs' final spot. Now, they did win their wildcard round against Cleveland and take Seattle to 5 games in the divisionals, but the season ended there. So the team's response to coming up short? Framber Valdez. The Tigers arguably have the best frontline duo in the MLB now, or at least top 3 with the Dodgers, Phillies, and Red Sox in the mix. And that's not all. Justin Verlander is coming back to the Tigers, where he spent the first 13 seasons of his career on a 1-year deal, and the team's expecting to get back a promising young arm in Jackson Jobe during the second half of the season, who underwent Tommy John surgery last June. This sets up the Tigers with one of the best rotations in all of baseball, plus a relief staff that performed well last year and added 4-time All-Star closer Kenley Jansen in December. But the biggest problems the Tigers faced during that slump and in the playoffs wasn't pitching. It was their performance at the plate. They hit just 207 in the playoffs, 201 against Seattle, and struggled mightily whenever runners were on base. In Game 5 against the Mariners, they were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position and left 10 on base. And yes, this is the 15-inning game I'm talking about. Of course, Seattle had one of the best rotations in the league, but that doesn't excuse the major struggles at the plate. Hitting 157 in an elimination game, having 4 of your 8 hits coming from one player in Kerry Carpenter, your 2 silver sluggers going 0 for 12 combined? Now, how did they address this in free agency? Well, they didn't. They just re-signed Gleyber Torres. And by this point of the offseason and spring trading starting, most of the big fish hitters are off the market. So where does that leave the Tigers? The Athletic's Ken Rosenthal reported that the Tigers plan to keep Skubal even after the arbitration case and trade rumors, making it evident that they're all in on making a deep run. But with the addition of Valdez and Verlander and not much offensively, it's clear that they believe this pitching staff can will them to a World Series, and with the help of better performances at the plate. Plus, they do have a few top prospects like infielder Kevin McConaughey and outfielder Max Clark that could, and most likely will, break into the bigs this year. And let me remind you, Skubal is set to hit free agency at the end of the season. But he's not the only one. Starters Jack Flaherty and Casey Mize are hitting the market as well, and this could be Justin Verlander's farewell tour. So with this rotation, it could be now or never. But if things are looking too good midway through the season, do the Skubal trade talks start ramping up again? The last time the Tigers let a premier arm leave was Max Scherzer. Baseball fans know the rest. The Tigers are pushing all their chips in on the table for 2026, and it'll be interesting to see how it all pans out. If you want more baseball content, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments on what you think is going to happen to the Tiger season.